Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I am Hunter SC. We are starting this episode the same place we start many of our episodes here in Majula. We're only going to be here for a couple minutes before progressing on towards the Lost Sinner. Okay, so Malentia is here now. I know I kind of harped on this issue a bit in like the early episodes, how she wasn't showing up here. So yeah, you have to kill the last giant before Malentia's going to show up here, and she brings with her the most valuable commodity, life gems. Those would have worked wonders for us at the end of the last episode, as would have a number of these other items that do restore health. Even the Divine Blessing. Yeah, my lament with the ending of that last episode continues on here, just as a side note, I suppose. Yeah, it would have been smart though, definitely, to fill up on life gems before taking on any bosses, really. So that's what we're going to be doing now. We got to just tie up a couple quick loose ends, if you will. Alright. So I think 43 should serve us just fine, at least for this episode. It'd be pretty bad if we needed more than that. The only other thing I wanted to do is just to upgrade our mace a bit more. I'm not exactly, excuse me, sure what that's gonna cost, or if we even have the right resources. Let's find out here. Reinforcing our magic mace. Oh, this might work out. We get to +6 with the large shards, and then we can actually go all the way to +8, and then we can't get it maxed out, although we do have a slab. We need 3 more chunks. Alright, but that should be just fine. I think we got a really strong weapon now, and we can begin progressing. I guess we've got extra souls here. We might as well just save them. Let's do a little bit of 1 point of endurance. Alright. So it would maybe be most logical to actually head back to Bright Stone Cove, Seldora, and finish off that massive arachnid, but I don't feel like doing that this episode, so instead we can warp over to Macduff's workshop and take on one of the harder bosses in the game. Alright, back to Lost Bastille, and like oh so many times before, you are going to see me running by some of the enemies. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way Dark Souls 2 can be played, and maybe it's a safer way. I want to point out here, though, oh man, talking about safe, I'm about to get pushed off the edge by one of these guys. I do want to point out a shortcut that's right here. You have to open it from the inside, but you can actually make this jump through that door once you open it, and yeah, that acts as a shortcut from Macduff's bonfire to the boss. But hopefully we're not going to actually need that, because we're going to, take out this boss on our first attempt. It's going to be an absolute non-issue, I hope. Because if the boss kills me, then we're going to have to try it again with help from a summon. That's the plan, at least. We'll see what happens. Okay, so there's a ton of enemies that sort of stream out of an open door just to the left from where we came in. But yeah, if you move quickly, they are not going to be able to catch you. Alright, so the phantom in question is this one here. Pilgrim Belclair. So that's a mage, and very useful, in a multi-boss situation. Okay, let's definitely equip these life gems And hopefully we can make quick work of the Ruin Sentinels. Alright, I am liking this damage output. That I'm not liking so much. Okay, we really need to kill this first one before his buddies get involved. Alright, so your classic Souls 2-on-1 situation. Here you're going to want to play unlocked, most likely. It's just easier. I mean, locking on makes a bit more sense if it's one-on-one. But your movement is, you know, less impeded if you keep it unlocked. Although that's actually less true in Dark Souls 2. Oh, that whirlwind can cover a lot of area. In Dark Souls 2, the lock-on mechanic's different so that you can roll freely, you know, with even diagonal directions. But in the last two Souls games, that was not the case. Just random fact, I suppose. Okay, this is actually quite a bit easier than I thought. Largely attributed to my strong mace. I guess the cove is a pretty good place to go early on because you can just get a bunch of upgrading shards there. And then when you get to this point in the game, your weapon's really quite strong. Although I have to be completely honest, the first time I came through here, I had a fire longsword, and you know it wasn't upgraded very much. Ruin Sentinels, I don't think take too much fire damage, and this boss took me more tries than any boss in the game by far. It was grueling. Alright, so this is a section where you can access an optional area. I'm sure some of you guys have enjoyed the PvP around here, the Bell Covenant. Let's just open that up.
Undead! Undead! King ranks up our bell, the great bell of Orkin. The bell belongs to the princess, it do. Stay back or we slice you to bits. Near my chums, we shan't be left.
Really
Stay back or your piece.
surprising dialogue to hear for the very first time. You know, coming into this room, talking to this guy, and he's just like absolutely nuts. And yeah, this is kind of an interesting area where you've just got a bunch of extra blue phantoms. These little guys. Not to be underestimated. Oh, very interesting. I didn't even realize that there's like a scripted invader here. I probably should have arrested at that last bonfire. Oh well. So let's see this Bellkeeper. I don't think I've ever encountered him before. I'm not sure if he was actually like patched in, or if he, you know, was always here, or maybe it's that because I'm offline, he'll come and invade. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be careful of my stamina here. I don't want to fall off. Okay, so it's the red guy, of course. That's the actual invader. Although I thought that Bellkeeper invaders were gray phantoms. I don't know. Alright, let's see if we can not get pegged by an arrow while we're ringing their bell. Oh man, this is not pleasant. That hit stun with a headshot arrow. Oh man, they are swarming me. Okay, let's see if we can even get to the boss door. Alright, let's give these guys a shot. The Gargoyles make a return here. Revamped. Alright, so we're going to try and focus on keeping a good amount of damage output. Otherwise, it's going to be like a 4-on-1 soon. Alright, maybe this is the last one? Yeah, it is. Alright, that was a pretty good attempt. But again, kind of made a little bit easy with this very strong weapon. There is a bonfire over here, but unlocking it, or lighting it rather. Oh, there's a chest there too. Well, now my curiosity is just overwhelming. I need to know what's in here. Southern Ritual Band. For the extra attunement. Alright, nothing we'll use, but good to know, I suppose. And as I was beginning to mention before, this bonfire isn't a desirable one for us to visit, just because it's like the first bonfire in the whole Souls series that is like isolated. Like, you cannot go back from here. The only way to leave this area is to warp from the bonfire. Okay, I'm kind of hesitant to go down there. These dogs are just nothing I kind of want to fight with a mace right now. There's like six or so of them. Well, there's a bit of loot over there. I think we can just leave that. And let's go back. I don't think there's much else here. There's a door that connects back to like a previous section of Lost Bastille as a shortcut. But I think that's upcoming and not actually here. As you can probably tell, I'm not super familiar with Lost Bastille. I've not spent a lot of time here, but I am more so familiar with Lost Sinner, and that's where we're headed. So let's make our way back in that direction. Alright. So there's a lot of hidden loot in Lost Bastille, and I'll try and point out a few things, but I don't think it's very likely that I'll be able to get all the loot. You know, as is the case with lots of these zones. Although, you know, we're doing a walkthrough here, and I do want to be, you know, thorough and, you know, cover everything that I can. It's almost impossible to get everything, so yeah, that'll just be something we'll just have to live with, I suppose. Alright. So we've got these kind of slow gates here, and it's a little nerve-wracking as the second one opens here. We've just got some guys waiting for us on the other side. But fortunately for us, these guys were nerfed quite a bit in an early patch, basically so that you can one-shot them instead of two-shotting them. And it's probably the case with more of those guys that we'll be meeting later in the game. Oh, and some of them are actually waiting for us inside of these large urns. It's kind of cool. So right there is a bonfire ascetic, and then there's a lift that goes all the way down, and I think there's a chest down there. So you can access that by going through this door. But I don't think we need any extra ascetics or anything. So we'll just leave that. There's also a bracing knuckle ring that I'm pretty sure we've passed already. It's behind an illusory wall, and I mean, if you're having like repairing issues, or if you're expecting to take a lot of, you know, durability damage, you might want to put that on. Okay, I'm just kind of clearing out this top section, although we can't open up the bonfire here because you need another branch, and we'll have one by the end of the episode, but we don't have one right now. So this is Strayed, who's frozen here. Hopefully we'll come back and free him later. So he serves as one of the blacksmiths, sort of, in that you can trade souls and he provides boss weapons for you. That's a lot of life gems there. And we've got these archers here just going to be pelting us with bolts as we try and get to this fog door. Those guys are actually really pesky, just because they spawn right next to a bonfire. And so yeah, you can't even warp to this upcoming bonfire without, you know, being in immediate danger. It's kind of annoying. Apparently FromSoft actually like took that into consideration and made it so that these 3 archers don't spawn as many times as other enemies. I heard that somewhere, so I'm assuming it's true. Alright, just a quick rest up, and well, we're almost getting to the end here. Alright, we don't really have to kill these guys. We can just hop onto the elevator. But, we can do that anyway. This is a really long elevator shaft, so you can plainly see. And if you hop off the lift a little bit early, there is something we can grab here. Maybe a sword? Okay. Throwing knife with bleed damage. It's good to send that lift back up for sure in case we die. And there's some good stuff down here. This is probably the best piece right here. Ooh, that really does hurt. Oh, that was really greedy. Really greedy for me to just keep attacking there while approaching low life. Too bad. Okay, let's just run back to this point real quick. Alright, so you can just take a bit of a quicker way, and as long as you're moving here, the bolts aren't going to hit you. So that massive beast really, obviously, I mean, it obviously has pretty good defenses compared to most of the other stuff we've been encountering. But he guards some of the Sublime Bone Dust, and we definitely want that. So let's just grab it. And I don't think there's anything else too exciting for us to loot down here. So we can see how quickly we can move through this, you know, slow movement impeding. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of lost with my sentence there, but we did manage to make it through the sewers there, just barely, and got that door open. We're good to go. We're at the Lost Sinner. And those guys, I guess, are just going to head back. Oh, one of them didn't make it. There's actually a way that you can light up the Lost Sinner boss chamber. And I have no idea how to do it. I'm pretty sure it's behind those doors, but you need a key that ordinarily I don't get. Can't recall exactly what key it is, but it's probably in the Lost Bastille somewhere. Okay, well, I guess that's that. We're ready to go in. And let's take a look at this intro. Alright, so one of the more famous boss fights in the game right here. I'm wondering if there's actually a switch in the boss room to turn on the lights, because I guess the lights are on until, well, you know, that intro cinematic takes place and he turns them off. I don't know. I'm kind of overthinking it. This boss is a little bit tricky just because it's hard to read his moves, how he telegraphs them. Sometimes, you know, he's very delayed with the animation. And I've already said, I think a few times, I've referred to the boss as a he. It's not. This is a female boss. It's supposed to be one of the witches from Lost Bastille. Maybe Quelana, I think, was the name of the vendor. If this were New Game Plus, right now there'd be a couple extra, you know, red phantoms. They're dressed like pyros. I'm pretty sure they are pyromancers. And they were really hard in the original game, you know, for your New Game Plus playthrough. But then FromSoft came in with their Nerf bat. And after the game was, you know, a few weeks old or a month old, those phantoms got nerfed too. So all in all, boss fight went pretty smoothly. Not really much else to say about it. So we've got a lot of souls now with those 3 boss kills. And this is going to be our Fragrant Branch. And our first primal bonfire. And one of them that does not connect to any of the DLC. So just kind of a quiet primal bonfire room. I'm wondering if there's going to be more added here later, possibly, with the new version of the game that's coming next year. The Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin, I think it's called, for the next-gen consoles and whatnot. Kind of a hot button topic, you know, in the Souls community right now. Of course, you know, it's a big announcement. I'm just happy that the game's not, like, you know, dead, and that you know, there's more content coming, and Dark Souls 2 isn't over, you know, so to speak. So that'll be cool. Maybe they will add in an entrance point at this primal bonfire. This video is going to be the shortest one so far, but we covered, you know, a chunk of the game that we need to get through. And I'm not going to drag it out any longer. I want to thank you guys for stopping by here and spending some time with me doing the Dark Souls 2 walkthrough. And I'm excited for the next episode. And I'll have to decide which direction we're headed for episode 6. And I will hopefully see you guys then. Alright, thanks again, guys. Take care. I am Hunter SC. Peace out.